Hello, sports fans. You play and watch all kinds of sports. This is a deck-building card game with a sports theme. Prove you're the best sports fan ever by competing against others who think they are the best. Prove you're the best sports fan by collecting the most trophies. You will have to pick the right plays from different sports, score points, and redeem those points for trophies. The goal. This is a game of building a deck of cards. Think of it as your playbook. It contains your plays and strategy to gain the most trophies. Your deck starts out with a few trophies and points, but you'll use that to build up your playbook on your way to gaining trophies. The player with the most trophies in their deck at game end wins. The game content. Cards come in several types. The trophy and point cards have a name with value, cost, count, and availability indicated on the card. The play cards have a name with cost, count, effect, and type. The game setup. Once you sign in, you will enter the game setup page. On this page, you can add friends. Once you create a game and click on the Game Ready button, your friends will be notified you have a game they can join. Each game contains 10 play cards. You can select play cards individually or let the game automatically randomly fill the remaining slots. Once you have invited your friends and 10 cards are selected, your game is ready for others to join. Click the Game Ready button to let others know you have a game for them to join. It's game time. Once the game is started, nobody else can join the game. The order of play is determined randomly. Each turn will have 3 phases in this order. Play phase. The player uses a play card. Redeem phase. The player may redeem points earned this turn to get a card. Cleanup phase. Once the player completes their last redeem or ends redeem phase, both played and unplayed cards are discarded and the player gets 5 new cards. In the play phase, the player may use a play card. Play cards are from your playbook cards that say play at the bottom of the card. Since players do not start the game with any play cards in their initial decks of 10 cards, a player will not have any plays to use during his first 2 turns. Normally, a player may play only 1 play card, but this number may be modified by the play cards that the player uses. To use a play, the player clicks on the play card from their hand and that card will go to the field area. The effect on the card will take place. The player may still play a play card even if they are not able to do everything the play card tells him to do, but the player must do as much as they can. Furthermore, the player must fully resolve a play card before playing another one, if they are able to play another play card. Any play cards used remain in the player's field area until the cleanup phase of the turn unless otherwise indicated on the card. The play phase ends when the player cannot or chooses not to use any more play cards. Generally, a player can only use play cards during the play phase of his turn. However, react cards are an exception to this rule as they can be used at other times. Common terms used on the play cards. Plus X cards. The player immediately gets X number of cards from their deck. If there are not enough cards in their deck, they get as many as they can. The discard pile is shuffled to form a new deck, and then they get the rest. If they still do not have enough cards left after forming a new deck, they just draw as many as they can. Plus X plays. The player may use X number of additional plays this turn. Plus X plays adds to the number of plays that can be used in the play phase. It does not mean use another play immediately. The instructions on the current play card must be completed before using any additional plays. The player must complete all of his plays before they move on to the redeem phase of their turn. If a card gives the player more than 1 additional play, clipboard shows the number of plays remaining. Plus X points. The player has X number of additional points to redeem in the redeem phase. The player does not take additional point cards for these points. Plus 1 redeem. The player may claim an additional card from the supply during the redeem phase of their turn. Plus 1 redeem adds to a player's potential redeems. It does not allow the player to redeem a card during the play phase. Discard. Unless otherwise specified, discarded cards are from the player's hand. When a player discards a card, the discarded card is face up on their discard pile. When discarding several cards at once, not all cards are shown, but may show how many cards are discarding. The top card of a player's discard pile is always visible. Toss. When a player tossed a card, they placed it in the toss pile, not their discard pile. Tossed cards are not returned to the supply and are not available for claiming. Gain. When a player gains a card, they take the gained card, usually from the supply, and put it onto their discard pile unless the card says to put it elsewhere. The player does not get to use the card when they gain it. Reveal. When a player reveals a card, they show a card to all players and then returns it to wherever it came from, unless instructed specifically to put it elsewhere. If the player is required to reveal cards from the top of his deck and they don't have enough cards, the deck is shuffled in order to reveal the required number of cards. Set aside. When a player sets aside a card, it is put aside without following any instructions on the card. A play that requires a player to set aside cards will instruct him on what to do with these cards. In the redeem phase, the player can gain one card from the supply by redeeming points. Any card that is in the supply may be gained: trophy, point, and plays. The player may not gain cards from the toss pile. Normally, a player may gain only one card, but they may gain more if they played certain cards earlier in their play phase. The points needed to gain the card are indicated in the small yellow star. The player may place some or all of the point cards from their hand to their field area and add to their value the points provided by play cards played this turn. The player may then gain any card in the supply of equal or lesser value. They take the gained card from its supply pile and it's placed face up on their discard pile. They may not use the ability of the card when it is gained unless otherwise specified on the card. If the player has multiple redeems, they combine point cards and any points available from action cards to use for all of the gained cards. For example, if Joe has +1 redeem and 6 points provided by 2 hat trick cards, they can gain a card costing 2, placing it face up in their discard pile. Then they can buy a card costing 4 with the remaining 4 points and place that face up in their discard pile. If they want to use all 6 points to gain one card, they can gain a goal for free with their second redeem or not gain a second card. Although they are discarded during the cleanup phase, the player will draw them again as his discard pile is shuffled into a new deck. Thus, point cards are resources that are reusable and not used up when played. When played, goals are worth 1 point, deuces are worth 2 points, hat tricks are worth 3 points, and on fire is worth 5 points. In the cleanup phase, all cards gained this turn should already be in the player's discard pile. Cards in their field area, play cards that have been played in the play phase, as well as point cards that have been played in the redeem phase, and any cards remaining in their hand go into the discard pile. The player will be dealt a new hand of 5 cards from their deck. Once the player has a new hand of 5 cards, the next player starts their turn. The game ends at the end of any player's turn when either 1. The supply pile of Olympian cards is empty, or 2. Any 3 supply piles are empty. The player with the most trophies wins. If the highest scores are tied at the end of the game, the tied player who has had the fewest turns wins the game. If the tied players have had the same number of turns, they tie and share the victory. That's it. You're ready to play. Have fun.